Hello, nobody watching. This is going to be my second recording, actually, of my playthrough through Dark Souls 1. Um, I had to re-record. Obviously, this is my first video that's going to be on this channel, so um, I'm having some technical difficulties. So, but it's not horrible. I'm just gonna remake everything I had before. Obviously, nobody's gonna know, but this is me. This is what I look like, body and everything. You know, something casual. This is my character. I've definitely played this game before. This is one of my favorite games of all time. I won't talk during cutscenes.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone scales. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark sign. Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead, And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
All right. So, like I was saying, definitely, I have definitely played these games before. Remember that? Remember Squid Game when that was the thing? Yeah. No, I have been playing these games for what, 10 years now? These have been some of my favorite games, for a really long time. Um, I remember being like 7 years old and playing original Dark Souls 1 on like an Xbox 360, never making it out of the asylum. I remember being able to see him up there in that window, and that would freak me out a lot. But I mean, I've done some challenge runs in this game. Like I've beaten my soul level 1 for all 3 games. I've beaten 1 and 3, with only fists, like no weapons, no broken straight sword, or anything. Um, but I wanted to record and play these games. I'm gonna do all 3 eventually, in order. I'm not gonna go based off of order of how much I like them or anything. But this is, I don't want to say first time playing mouse and keyboard, because like I did say, this is my re-recording of the first run. I only got to about Taurus Demon. I beat Taurus Demon, and that was it for the first episode, which I think will be the same for this one. But like I said, like especially that, this was the first problem with the first recording. It was just too loud. The game was turned up too much. My voice was turned down too low. But I've done some more test recordings, and I have found out.
But why?
I found out a pretty good medium. I'm gonna try not to talk during NPCs talking. That is the only thing I really do have the volume up a little bit more for. So, if I do get cut off in a sentence, it's probably gonna sound not amazing when an NPC talks, because I have that a little bit louder. But, yeah. I'm not used to playing mouse and keyboard, so I'm not as good at the controls. Like some of them I still have to remember. Like I just pressed E there to try and heal. But it's not been horrible so far. It's definitely different. If anybody does comment on this video, and I said this in the first recording, unless somebody comments and says I should use an Xbox controller, I'm just gonna stick with mouse and keyboard. I don't think it's a bad thing to learn how to play with it. But if it becomes kind of unwatchable, like I know the camera likes to shake a lot using a mouse to aim. If it becomes unwatchable, people get motion sick, I'll change it. If anybody even cares. But there you go. first try. So I'm not gonna get achievements for a minute. But like I said, I only beat Taurus Team. This is my first playthrough on my computer. So I'm gonna be getting all achievements and everything. It's not gonna be like a 100% run. Like, I'm not gonna be picking up every single item. I'm not gonna be doing every quest. I'm really just doing this for my enjoyment. So I'm gonna go through the game and just do things as I would. Yeah, I'll do NPC quests as I see them. I'll pick up items as I find them, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to find things that I wouldn't normally find. You know what I mean? It's gonna be no exploits or anything. I'm not gonna do any sequence breaking. It's not really a sequence break, but a lot of people like to go for the Gravelord Greatsword in the catacombs. I'm not gonna do that. I want to play the game just as it is. Use weapons I find as I find them, upgrade them without like cheating, getting a bunch of souls. But this is where it starts.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
Here we are. The game has started. Alright. I'm also not going to be going to Dark Route. I pointed it out in the first recording, and I promise I'll stop talking about the first recording once I get past the part I was at, I promise. But I'm just kind of trying to recap and avoid missing anything that I might miss saying because I had to restart. Oh, that sucks. But picked it up. But yeah, we're just gonna go through the game. We're going to. Oh, that just fell. All right. Whatever. I don't care anyway. Sun's gonna explode in 10 billion years anyway. Who cares? It's definitely a change. Wow. All right. First death. Did I mention that I beat this game at level 1 using only my fists before? Did I mention that I'm good at this game? Because I'm sure you can see it from this expert gameplay. I'm gonna try to do not a ton of editing. I do have my beautiful lady, Sue, that has volunteered to help me edit these videos. And any editing will probably be done by her. But I don't want it to be heavily edited, you know what I mean? Like, it'll mostly just be like pauses where I like moments like this. Like, if I'm kind of at a loss for words, I don't know what to say, it'll probably just jump to me saying what I meant to say. But I feel like leaving deaths in the game kind of makes it less artificial in a way. Like, I'm not being fake by showing like I'm not gonna die, you know what I mean? I will say I've never completed a deathless run. That is not that good. I'm I'm good enough to like smoke somebody who has never touched this game before. You know what I mean? Like if I'm talking to Peepaw over there, and he's like, "Oh, what's a Dark Souls?" You know, I'm gonna beat that dude's ass. But like, you could probably pick this game up and just start doing better than I am off the bat. Especially playing on keyboard. I am not amazing playing with keyboard. I'm just kind of figuring it out as I go along. You know how long it took me to figure out that that was a heavy attack? Come on. You gotta press shift and then click. And you have to do that to parry too. Which you can do that and then press shift, which is nice. So you can just kind of hold and then press shift to parry. But yeah, I'm figuring it out. Watch me have trouble going back to keyboard to controller after this. There's that guy. That guy's gonna make that bridge a little more difficult. I normally never see him. I normally go to Darkroot Garden, and I go straight to Andre, who we'll see in a little, probably the next episode. We'll find him. But like I said in the first recording, that you wouldn't know, I'm gonna try and make these about half-hour segments. I actually don't even know when I started recording. So I think this video, it could be longer, it could be shorter than 30 minutes, but I'm going to beat the Taurus demon in this video. That's going to be the end goal for this video. Is the Taurus demon. Just to put a short little video out there. Obviously nobody's watching this yet. I'm not expecting 30,000 people to find this video and be like, "Oh my god, this guy is my favorite YouTuber." But I'm going to put this out there. See what goes on. Because obviously it's I've never really considered YouTube to be an option for myself. Like, obviously, as a kid, everyone wants to be a YouTuber. Everybody that grew up with the internet wanted to be a YouTuber when they were a kid. You know what I mean? But I figured I'm an adult now. I have adult money. So if I really want to, I can decide to be a YouTuber. And I don't think I am going to, like, be a YouTuber for a while. Unless something takes off. If something takes off, I will definitely put a lot more effort into anything I upload. But for now, at least, I don't think it's unreasonable to not want to put every single ounce of my... I don't want to put all my priorities on it, you know what I mean? I still have my job. I'm working on getting a second one, even. Like, I'm just a guy that in the middle of the night, okay. In the middle of the night when I get home from work, I want to come home, record a video, go to bed, and go to work at 9 o'clock in the morning after. I typically I get home around 1. And then I do work a couple, like, close open shifts, which those are fun. Those are so much fun. Don't grow up. If you're a child watching this, don't grow up. It's not worth it. But you get to buy a nice microphone, and you get to use this computer that somebody, actually, a coworker of mine got this for me. So I didn't even pay for this computer. I have a 1060 in it. And it runs Dark Souls pretty well. If you're thinking my computer isn't good enough to do YouTube or something, and you have like an old 1060, they will run just fine. I'm kind of coming to the realization myself, you do not need some crazy hardware to play the games you like. Unless you like games like Cyberpunk, or like huge games. I can't really think of a ton of examples, but you know what I mean. Unless you're into games that are specifically going to take a ton of hardware, you can just do it. Like I'm running OBS, I have a microphone and headphones, and everything plugged in, and I'm playing this game at the same time. And I'm even using like an old 1 terabyte hard drive that I stole from work. Thing was made in like 2013. This thing runs so slow. It's it's good, dude. It's fine. You can do it. Obviously, I can't speak for my own success story because I don't have one yet. Notice I said yet? But you can totally just pick it up and go. Like don't let yourself feel restricted is what I'm trying to say. Are you serious? I'm not gonna die to this dude. Yeah. If I get the Black Knight sword here, I got it on the first recording. I hope I do. I'll use it for the whole game. We didn't get it. That sucks. That really sucks. I really wanted to use the Black Knight sword, but what can you do? I don't really want to use Black Knight Greatsword, but if we get it, I'll use it for a little bit at least. I don't really know what kind of build I want to run on this playthrough. I know I just kind of switched topics, but back to the game. I don't really know what kind of build I want to run. I want something that's good with like crowd control because I'm really getting tired of this dagger. Maybe it's just me using the dagger talking, but I really want something with some nice crowd control. I want to be able to swing real wide, but I'm not really like stereotypical like strength user. Like I'm not a huge fan of strength builds, but if it happens, it happens. You know what I mean? I'll just kind of feel it out. If anybody does comment on this video, you know, talking about use that weapon, I'll be like, word. You know? Thank you, John Cheeseburger, 1997. I will use that weapon. Just thanks for being a fan. You know what I mean? Actually, by this point, I was using a battle axe, and it was so nice. I killed that guy so quickly. There he is up there. You see him? See him up there? Oh, I found out. Wait, what was it? Just press space. Don't press down. But yeah, if John Cheeseburger wants to come in here and tell me to use his favorite weapon, if I got it, son, I will build a whole build around it for being a day one. That sucks. But this is our first roguelike. Are you serious? Whatever. I'm not gonna get the point. If I die to Taurus Demon, I'm pretty upset. I like no hit him on the first recording. You can jump off? If he jumps off, that'd be great. Alright, let's lock him. Alright. This is a totally organic playthrough. Alright? I'm not gonna cut that out. Because I'm humble. And I just realized I didn't even sit at the other bonfire. Okay. We're just gonna speed run through. Because I'm not dealing with all that again. We killed the Black Knight. We're just gonna grab our souls and go. Hopefully we don't get cancer from this rat up here. Are you serious? Are you serious right now? 5,000 souls? We're not even gonna be able to use them? Go! Go! It'll be okay. I'm only human, guys. Nobody. I'm only human, nobody, because nobody's watching this. Because why would you watch somebody who sucks this bad at this game? Maybe I could... Actually, my beautiful woman told me I should market this as videos to fall asleep to, because my voice is so soft and soothing. At least on the original recording. It was, but who knows? It might. That might be my niche, yo. Everybody's gotta find one. Okay, okay, okay. Whatever. So he already kicked the barrel down, so he's not gonna kick it down again. So hopefully I can get past him. Yep. Alright. What did I tell you? I told you we'd get back. Hope this video isn't too long. I don't want it to be an incredibly long one. But what can you do if it is? I suck. I lost. I died. And there's nobody's fault but mine. I just realized these guys respawn too. So we're gonna go up there and kill them. I really, really hate using this dagger. Oh, there's a guy right at the fog wall trying to come in. Are you gonna jump down? How close do I gotta get? I don't know if I mentioned this, but if we had the Black Knight sword, we'd be doing an extra 15% damage right now. Because he's a demon. And Gwyn is racist. Against demons. You serious? Dude, alright. It's gonna happen again. Run! Run! Alright. Yeah, this is our only chance of doing damage against this guy. Which sucks. I didn't want to use all three, but... This game is not hard. Why am I sucking so much balls? Alright, give me your axe. If I get the axe like you said. I didn't get it. It would have been cool though. That would have been a fun weapon to use. I've never actually sat and used that for a playthrough. But here we are. I don't want to sound like I'm rambling. That's my biggest concern. Is, excuse me, sounding like I'm rambling through the whole video. We will go say hi to Solaire. I want to get this bonfire first real quick. But I don't want to sound like I'm just waffling the whole time. Just talking a bunch of hullabaloo for no reason. Because I want it to be interesting. I feel like I'm not the most interesting person on the planet, but I don't think I'm boring. And I hope other people think that too. I hope other people think I'm an interesting person, interesting enough to watch. Die over and over again in a game where I can choose to upgrade my health, but I won't. So I think I'm going to go for a nice quality build. Just like that. Just boost our stats a little bit. Alright. That will do it for now. That is episode 1 of my my playthrough of Dark Souls 1. We got Taurus Demon and tutorial done. Next episode, we're going to go through the Undead Parish. We're going to talk to as many people as we can. We're going to talk to Solaire. We'll probably go see Undead Merchant over there. Might grab another weapon because I'm tired. I'm so tired of this dagger. Alright. I'm so tired of it. I'm ready. I have been putting off playing this game because I didn't know if it would run on my computer. I am excited to be back in this, but that is going to do it for today. Good luck and good night.